Good morning and welcome to Daybreak Nigerian, your breakfast show transmitting live on the hills of Gozape in Abuja on television Nigeria. Where we look at stories ranging from news, sport, entertainment, gossip, politics, health and lots more. I am Sandra Guana and I have with me
Blessing Akpera Ikpa. Sandra, good morning.
Good morning. Blessing is my mentor when it comes to sport. You will see what happens when we get to that segment. Oh, Blessing, I don't know your take on this NLC strike that is proposed, that is supposed to start today.
I do think it's proposed. It has already started because as of yesterday, they said it was going to start 12 midnight into today. So for me, them calling on strike or the labor union, I feel what they are doing is right because this minimum wage thing is long overdue. It's a thing of concern. Yeah. You know, they've been talking about it and all of that. Now it boils down to you managing your economy. If you don't manage your economy well, it results to this, and then you now notice that our money does not even have value, and then it's the cost of all this inflation and all of that. So
just imagine someone that is collecting 18,000 for a month, and you know you have bills set, you have to pay your children's school fees. You have to, and I just hope that the NLC, what they are doing is for the benefit of masses.
We hope to see results. Exactly. We hope to see,
because we really want, at least if it's not as if the 45,000 is enough, but
and
I think it will go a little long. And you know about the Oshun rerun. You don't think it's going to play out today?
I'm waiting to see how the outcome of that will be today. You know, because I know a lot of people have moved down there.
I understand Adams has moved there. Yes, so Adams is a man of no, it must happen. He has never lost in any election before.
Let's see how it plays out. Let's see how it plays out. For now, we really don't have much to say about the rerun until the results are out.
But what do you think the results are going to be, so that you know that at the end of the day,
I am
the
not
PDPs are going to take
I am not predicting. And that's true. Today is World Tourism Day. You know, it's one day that you turn around and you look at your tourist sites around you, and then you try to think, what kind of tourist sites do we have?
How are we utilizing our tourist potentials?
You know, you go to places like Kenya, you go to places like South Africa, you go to places like Zimbabwe. They have good tourist sites. These tourist centers or tourist attracts people, and then it generates revenue to them.
Are we to?
I'm sure how have we generated revenue for?
We have Obudu, but how is it generating?
That I don't know, and it has not even increased our GDP. So I don't know if we're really making use of our tourist centers.
But I just hope that we'll do something about that. So right now, let's go to the weather and see what is happening with our weather in a bit.
Yeah, the rain was gone. You know. Welcome to the Weather Center. I am Blessing Akpera Ikpa. In the northern states, partly cloudy to cloudy conditions are likely over the region in the morning hours. Later in the day, sunny to partly cloudy conditions are expected to prevail over the central region, with chances of thundery activities in Kaduna and its environs. Day and night temperature values are expected to be in the range of 31 to 35 degrees Celsius and 20 to 24 degrees Celsius respectively. Mambila and Yola, while other places in the region are expected to be partly cloudy to cloudy conditions in the morning. Later in the afternoon and evening hours, rainfalls are anticipated over Abuja, Lokoja, Minna and Ilorin. Day and night temperature values are expected to be in the range of 29 to 32 degrees Celsius and 20 to 23 degrees Celsius respectively, except just with a record low of 18 degrees Celsius. In the southern state, localized moderate rains are expected to prevail over Enugu, Awka, Ado-Ekiti, Port Harcourt, Umuahia, Lagos, Yenagoa, Obudu, while elsewhere over the region is expected to be cloudy in the morning. There are prospects of localized thunderstorm over the entire region, including places like Awka, Umuahia, Abakaliki, and in the later part of the day, while afternoon thunderstorms are likely in areas around Ado-Ekiti and Akure. The day and night time temperatures are expected to be in the range of 30 to 34 degrees Celsius and 20 to 24 degrees Celsius respectively. Elsewhere across the world, there will be clear skies over London with a high of 23 degrees over low of 3 degrees Celsius. New York will have broken clouded periods with daytime temperature at a high of 18 degrees and a low of 16 degrees, while light rains are expected over Berlin, with temperatures expected at 20 to 13 degrees Celsius. Johannesburg, Southern Africa will have a broken cloud condition with maximum temperatures expected at 30 degrees with a low of 13 degrees, while China will experience high intensity rain showers with temperatures at a high of 23 degrees and a low of 20 degrees Celsius. That's the weather forecast for Thursday, the 27th of September. Thanks for watching. I am Blessing Akbara Ikba.
Update and come talking about weather. You know, these days you are free. By the time you listen to this, you know that you don't need to carry on an umbrella with you. How do you play around this weather thing?
Research is one other thing, and then understanding the weather is a different thing. When you know a lot about weather, you really don't need to start digging deep. You know the climate changes, and you know how the weather rotates and how it forms. So it's always easy to relate to what the weather is for the day and what it is for another day, and then you plan yourself.
At least that with that you know that then in the past every day you are going out, you know that you have to carry an umbrella with you because you cannot predict the rains.
That's true.
But these days now it's easier and we are doing it. Thank you very much for that weather. We'll go on the short break, and when we return we'll go to our newspaper segment. We'll be right back shortly.
Yes. To incentivize these job creators, we would set up
cooperative community banks within the community that would give small startup loans for small businesses as non-securitized or collateralized at very small interest rate. So you see, election matters and your vote count. Please vote YPP, vote Prince David Adetunji Adeyeye for House of Reps come Saturday, 16 February 2019. Thank you.
Young Progressive Party. Service to the people.
Welcome back. This is Daybreak Nigerian on television Nigeria, transmitting live in Guzape, Abuja. Right now, we'll go for healthy living, where Diane is on standby to tell us how pregnant women are supposed to take their diet seriously. We'll be right back.
Hello! Today on Healthy Living, we'll be looking at healthy diets for pregnant women. Maintaining a healthy diet during pregnancy is very important. Figuring out what to eat when you're eating for two can be very confusing, but today we'll be looking at healthy and best foods for pregnant women. Today on the list we have egg, number 1. Eggs are a great source of protein. They also contain more than a dozen vitamins and minerals, including choline. Choline helps your baby's brain and spinal cord develop properly and helps prevent neutral tube defects. And number 2, salmon. Salmon is very rich in essential omega-3 fatty acids, which are crucial for your baby's healthy development, especially in the development of the eye and brain. It is also a natural source of vitamin D. Number 3, sweet potatoes are very rich in beta-carotene. It is a plant compound that is converted into vitamin A in our bodies. There is also a great source of vitamin C, folic acid, and fiber. Vitamin A is very important for the growth and differentiation of cells in the fetus. And then number 4, we have lean meats. This includes beef, pork, and chicken. These are excellent sources of high protein. Look for cuts that are around 95 to 98% fat-free. Beef and pork are also rich in iron, choline, and other B vitamins, all of which are higher amounts of vitamins during pregnancy. Eating red meat regularly may increase the amount of iron required from the diet. Fruits and vegetables. Eating plenty of fruit and vegetable helps your body get a variety of nutrients. This provides vitamins and minerals. Salads are an easy way to combine fruits and vegetables. Number 6, we have legumes. Legumes are excellent plant-based sources of calcium. Legumes are generally high in fiber and many other nutrients. Folates are found in legumes, some birth defects and diseases. Number 7. Fish liver oil, most often cod. A single serving of fish liver oil provides more than the required amount of omega-3 fatty acids, vitamin D and vitamin A. Fish liver oil may be particularly important to women who don't eat seafood. You can substitute the fish liver oil with the seafood. Number 8. Broccoli and dark leafy greens. Broccoli and dark green vegetables such as spinach contain many of the nutrients that pregnant women need. These nutrients include fiber, vitamin C, vitamin K, vitamin A, calcium, iron, folate, and potassium. Number 9. Berries. Berries contain water, carbs, vitamin C, fiber, and plant compound. They may help pregnant women increase their nutrients intake. Last but not the least, water. Drink tract infection. It is in the last trimester because dehydration is life. A healthy woman is a happy woman. I am Diana Udra, your host. Keep watching Television Nigeria.
Thank you so much, Dan, for that healthy report. I know that there are some certain things as a woman you're supposed to eat, even whether you are pregnant or not. As a pregnant woman, then it's even better for you to take salmon, you take berries, you take more of fish liver oil and all that. Blessing, what do you think about this healthy living
I'm quite impressed. Before now, I feel like I just eat anything. Like, you're not supposed to be on diet. As long as you have cravings, you should just eat. But now I know better, so I know I need to limit or cut down, especially the high carbohydrate food
you take more of vegetables.
So I have to now start taking more veggies and more of she said fiber, and
I used to think that berries are not really that good for the body like that. I just take them for the fun of it.
That's because we're even ignorant of the fact that berries are very good for us and we don't know.
At least today I know better.
Exactly.
Thank you so much for
that. And now moving ahead, we'll head to business news where Chinwe is standing by.
Welcome to Business News. I am Chiwendu Osisiego. Workers in the steel industry have called on the federal government to protect local industries and the value of the naira, following the loss of over 3,500 workers due to the high production costs. The workers argued that since the current administration assumed office, the country has lost over 9 million jobs due to the cost of production that has risen, even as the purchasing power of workers diminished. The workers under the aids of Steel and Engineering Workers Union stated this at a workshop in Ibadan with theme Trade Unionism and the Enhancement of Workers in the Steel and Engineering Industry. The guest speaker and principal partner, Babli Consultancy SB, Ogunsade, expressed worries about the challenges confronting workers daily, expressing that workers now operate under harsh conditions and live in a battered economy. Ogunsade further explained that their pensioners have resorted to begging to survive, and it is quite unfortunate that even labor laws are not respected, adding that years ago workers were not old and they worked in conducive environments, and even when they retire, they were paid their benefits in due time. But all these are old stories now. Global technology major IBM is looking to partner with government bodies and financial institutions in the country to deepen reach of its artificial intelligence platform for the farm sector. The US-based company launched the Watson Decision Platform for Agriculture globally, eyeing the $2.4 trillion agriculture market. The Vice President of Research for India and Singapore, Sriram Raghava, said they will be partnering with the public sector, bank and insurance companies for the platform, and this will be tens of such tie-ups for a target on number of partnership which the company aims to forge. Raghava explained that the company's tie-up with the Niti Hayong in agriculture is also based on usage of AI for the farm sector. He said, adding that all the 10 districts where the pilot project has to be implemented have been identified and the build phase of the Niti Hayong project is over and it will be rolled out on the field soon. According to him, the newly launched platform uses data from multiple sources, including satellites and also the weather company, which is part of the IBM group, and the presence of remote sense data availed through satellites makes it the right time for companies to invest and to create AI-based tools for the farm sector. Raghava said the newly launched platform can help predict yields, fight pests, determine soil moisture, and monitor crop health, and among other aspects. The federal government has begun the payment of 408 active staff next of kin NOKS of the default power holding company of Nigeria, PHCN, has generated mixed feeling in the power sector, and the member of the National Union of Electricity Employees have disagreed with the number of beneficiaries, saying there are more than 2,000 workers that are supposed to benefit from the scheme. They argue that 408 beneficiaries, as claimed by the federal government, are just about 20% of the entire active staff and retired NOC, noting that about 1,600 ex-workers are yet to receive their benefits. The Bureau of Public Enterprises, BPE, had on Thursday last week issued a statement that the 408 active staff and retirees next of kin of the default power holding company of Nigeria, PHCN, who have been completed and audited by the Office of the Accountant General of the Federation, have started receiving $426.03. The privatization agency, through its Director General, Alex Okon, expressed delight following the approval of the National Council on Privatization, chaired by Vice President Yemi Osibajo, that the implementation is leading to the resolution of the outstanding labor issue in the power sector privatization. Okun said the current milestone in the resolution and settlement of the outstanding labor liabilities became possible after the Bureau on March 27, 2018, which constituted a technical working group comprising the OAG, PEPCON, NELCOM, NUEE, and SSA, EAC, and NUP, which worked culminating in a meeting between the Director General of PBE and the OAGF on August 1, 2018 to finalize the payment process. Paint industry contribution GDP remains low at 0.03. Berger Paint Nigerian PLC has lamented the low investment in real estate sector, which had impacted negatively on the performance of paint industry in the country. Managing Director, Chief Executive, Berger Paint Nigerian PLC, Peter Folikwe, speaking yesterday during the facts behind the figures presentation at the Nigerian Stock Exchange, NSE, said that in 2017, the paint industry demand remained weak due to low investment in real estate development, weak economy, and high leverage. He stated that the industry is highly fragmented with over 500 operators in the organized and unorganized markets, stressing that structured markets account for 60 to 65% of the market value, as the largest industry segment is decorative paints, accounting for about 80% of the revenue annually. He lamented the fact that paint consumption per capita in Nigeria remains low at 2.8 liters in comparison to South Africa 5.7 liters per capita, and is attributed to poor industry regulation and poor advocacy. That's the business news from Television Nigeria. I am Chiwendu Osisiogwu. Thanks for watching.
Chinwe, thank you so much for that business update. Right now, we'll go to entertainment while Ginika is out there to tell us what is happening in the entertainment world. We'll be right back shortly. Stay tuned.
Welcome to the entertainment segment of Daybreak Nigeria on Television Nigeria. Now, your Pesa Chimamanda is very cautious of staying on the news lately as she has come out to say something really controversial about feminism. The acclaimed feminist, while at a function, said that Jesus Christ himself supports gender equality.
I think if you go back in history, the idea of marriage is different from what it is today. At the years of the price, where that any man who think, after all, I paid so thousand, she belongs to me. Right, so if I decide that she should stop.
This is coming shortly after the public and Toke Makin that God's daughter and Toke replied saying soon, very soon. It would also interest you to know that Linda Ikeji, one of Nigeria's most successful bloggers, just gave birth a few days ago after being celibate for almost 1 year, putting her on the list of baby mamas in Nigeria. Now, with the 2019 general elections drawing near, more entertainers from the Nigerian entertainment industry seem to be driving into politics and declaring their interest to run for political offices come 2019. What do you make of this? Enel Noja is on the streets to bring to you the thoughts of the street parliamentarians on this issue. Over to you, Rene.
Thank you. The last time I checked, a lot of entertainers are going into politics. The likes of Desmond Elliott, Yil Edochie, Kenneth Okonkwo, and others. Do you think they will make Nigerians better? Do you think they will take Nigerians to the promised land? Well, I'm on the street of Abuja right now to feel the pulse of the people.
We have tried the old politicians, we have tried the upcoming politicians, most of them have failed us. So we need the entertainers, those who are more exposed. Like Babangida said that Nigeria needs the digital rulers. So I believe that they will make an impact better than what we are seeing, because this country is messed up.
Maybe, who knows, me in particular, going down every day, so I think is, they can help.
For me, they cannot offer anything to this country. So let them just forget about politics and face their career in movies. There's the place they specialize on movies, not in anything politics. They don't have the idea. We need person that will lead us forward, not backward again.
I know that their drama they are acting, there is little fault inside it. But I know that if they go into politics, they will do well.
The films they are making, they're actually giving us they're giving us what is happening in real life. So I think that can actually happen. We can actually make example of that.
I think that depends on the individual. What I know is they are just trying to make use of their popularity to use it at their own advantage. So I don't really know about whether they will take us to the promised land or not.
And that is it. I am Ene Onoja. Over to you, Ginika.
Thank you so much, Ene. And finally, on the foreign scene, the 81-year-old comedian Bill Cosby has been sentenced to 3 to 10 years in the state prison after being found guilty of sexually assaulting Andre Cosland. Cosby, who had multiple women come forward with stories of alleged sexual assault, was charged with 3 counts of aggravated indecent assault. Now, during the sentencing, the judge declared Bill Cosby a sexually violent predator, meaning he will have to register with the Sex Offender Registry, report to authorities, and undergo monthly counseling. And that's it on the entertainment this morning. I need to grab a cup of coffee. Over to you girls.
This is Television Nigerian, a broadcast network committed to serving you the very best in online and offline television programming. Situated in the serene environment of Guzape, Abuja FCT, TVN, as it is fondly called, caters to a wide variety of audience via carefully orchestrated mind-blowing programs in the areas of fashion, business, politics, entertainment, religion, movies, food and health, culture and lifestyle, events around the globe, sports and foreign news. Whatever your inclination, we've got you completely covered with programs like Issues of the Moment, The Patriot, Daybreak Nigeria, Matter Africa, TVN Business Time, Healthy Living, From the Cradle, Stay Inspired, Entertainment Gist, Movie Hour, Hits Paradise, among others. All designed to keep you thoroughly informed, entertained, at the edge of your seat and yearning for more. A tour around our domain will reveal a highly dedicated staff force and a state-of-the-art facility and equipment for high-definition quality broadcast, making our station your #1 choice in advertising your business and propagating your ideas. We are currently on NightComSat doing our test transmission for takeoff in the nearest future. Television Nigerian is located in Nigeria at Television Nigerian House, Guzape Hilltop Mansion, beside Guzape White House, Guzape Abuja FCT, Kingdom. For almost a decade, the Nigerian army have given their all to ensure that our dear country is not overrun by Boko Haram insurgents. Some have in the process paid the ultimate price, while many will forever live with indelible scars occasioned by their determination to protect the country, no matter the hurdle. Despite these, they have remained resolute and undaunted, and today, all territories the insurgents once took control of have been recaptured and normalcy restored. And now, for the first time in a long time, the end of Boko Haram is foreseeable. Therefore, the wisest thing for the remaining insurgents to do. For almost a decade, the Nigerian army have given their all to ensure that our dear country is not overrun by Boko Haram insurgents. Some have in the process paid the ultimate price, while many will forever live with indelible scars occasioned by their determination to protect the country, no matter the hurdle. Despite these, they have remained resolute and undaunted, and today, all territories the insurgents once took control of have been recaptured and normalcy restored. And now, for the first time in a long time, the end of Boko Haram is foreseeable. Therefore, the wisest thing for the remaining insurgents to do is to surrender today or face total destruction from the army. Remember, the the Nigerian army will stop at nothing to ensure that total peace is restored in all parts of the country. So, be wise and embrace peace today, or get ready to be ruthlessly dealt with. This message is brought to you by the Coalition on Conflict Resolution and Human Rights in Nigeria. For almost a decade, the Nigerian army have given their all to ensure that our dear country is not overrun by Boko Haram insurgents. Some have in the process paid the ultimate price, while many will forever live with indelible scars occasioned by their determination to protect the country, no matter the hurdle. Despite these, they have remained resolute and undaunted, and today, all territories the insurgents once took control of have been recaptured and normalcy restored. And now, for the first time in a long time, for almost a decade,
for that wonderful message. And to think that Chimamanda just said Jesus Christ is a feminist.
I agree with her.
Well, that's one thing we need to look into. But moving ahead, we are here with the newspaper this morning. We have a leadership which says above the masthead, it says Oshun Guba Omishari declares support for APC. And the ticker here says, I am ready for APC Guba primaries. You find that Ambode talking. You find that story on page 12. The minimum wage, the lead story, Labor adamant begins nationwide strike today. You find that story on page 4. And we have two riders here. We says anxiety over impending shutdown of business activities, and NNPC cautions against panic buying of fuel. And a picture story here, we says President Muhammadu Buhari with UN Secretary General Mr. Antonio Guterres on the sidelines of the 73rd session of the United Nations General Assembly in New York yesterday. Also, wicked kicks against plan to change PDP convention venue. You find that story on page 2. That seems to be a serious one for wicked. Police nab man over threat to Atiku. That's a serious one. You find that story on page 4. AFDB invests $24 billion in African agriculture. You find a story on page 10. All we have on the Lawrence. What do you think is strike?
Minimum wage issue. Another one we cannot really forget. I mean, most peaceful so far. The issue of vote buying has been eliminated to the barest minimum. Cases of violence, I mean, there was no any reported case of violence anywhere.
But we still heard of cases of box snatching from the during the election.
Where?
But in Oshun, because that was one of the reasons why they said they had to cancel everything, because they listed snatching of ballot papers, ballot boxes as one of the reasons why they had to cancel some polls.
Yes, as a matter of fact, you cannot totally rule out. But what are the indices compared to the last elections? That's the most important thing.
Okay, all right.
Okay, Mr. Lawrence, I'd like to say, Omishore just declared support for APC. Do you think it's more of the alliance, or there's more for him just because before now we heard he had already declared his support for the PDP, and then the sudden change of mind? Do you think there's more to this? Is there a political...
The truth of the matter is that Omishore has seen that, one, he does not have the capacity to win the elections in the first place. No matter how it goes, he still wouldn't win. So it is better for him to go, to move to the camp that favors him most. So the APC has a lot to offer in that regard. So why move to the PDP when you are not even sure if anything good will come out of it in the first place?
So why are we so certain?
No, we are certain because as it stands now, the government at the center is on the right track. Okay. So it is natural for anybody to, if you understand what you're doing, you should always align with a government that is on track. APC may not have performed, absolutely well in the state, but as a matter of fact, what about the center? So if he has seen all this, it is better for him to align with where it is, really hopeful.
So, Mr. Lawrence, why do you think APC are so particular about Osun? Because right now I understand 4 governors are there already from other states, and even Adams Oshomole is there.
No, this is politics. We're in a build-up to the 2019 general elections. Political parties have been established solely, primarily, to win elections. So whatever you can do that is legally possible for you to win an election, you do it. So there is nothing wrong with, in the past, haven't you seen PDP governors and stakeholders moving to a particular location when the election is coming? So it's a natural thing. So it's normal. There's nothing that has been done wrong.
All right, thank you so much. Let's move to the next paper. Daily Trust is the next paper. And the lead story on Daily Trust is workers begin strike today over new minimum wage. And the writer of that story will see no need for strike. Will reconvene October 4th. FG tells Labour. Below kicker, we see FG states FG shares 741.8 billion for August. Oh, they've shared money already. SKB Governor Dakingari joins for House of Reps. He has joined a race for House of Reps. Okay, this story, we can find this story on page 13 of Daily Trust. And below a picture story, there's a picture story here. Below that picture story, we see President Muhammad Buhari delivers his address on the fight against tuberculosis at the United Nations headquarters in New York yesterday. And below that story, below the picture story, we see Aso Villa driver attempts suicide over poor pay. Then in the middle of that story, picture story, we see 16 minors kidnapped in Kaduna, police confirm. And on the right of that story, we also find despite rise in inflation, foodstuff prices fall. Okay, what do you think is the screen story on this Daily Trust now? Because from the look of things, everywhere is talking about strike.
Yeah, paper, Daily Trust is the fact that the federal government has lost salaries. This is quite good. This is what I tell you that the government is on.
So is it not only in the papers?
No. But this is very,
didn't come to a reasonable conclusion, and then which is resulting to the strike today. Don't you think the civil servants are talking well for what they need to earn, or the government is still holding on to what is not theirs?
Well, to answer that question, I would want to say that increments in salaries may not be the solution to the problem, because even if you increase salaries, minimum wage to 250,000 naira, it does not solve any problem. If government officials are taking 250,000 as minimum wage, for instance, and in the private sector you're not having such an amount of money as salaries, it automatically means that the market, the other components of the economy would want to brace up. So automatically there's going to be an inflation. There's going to be, you know, a rise in inflation. That's just the truth of the matter. It's a simple logic. Now, talking about the NLC, I mean, and their strike. Strikes, as far as I'm concerned, do not always resolve problems. You just end up paralyzing the economy. You're making things difficult for ordinary Nigerians. Now, what I think is NLC should concentrate more in, you know, pressuring the government to, you know, come up with infrastructure, you know, come up with, you know, issues that can cushion the effects of the economy, or, you know, not always clamoring for strikes. So
you think NLC have not done enough?
No, I'm not saying they are not doing enough. Like, strike is usually the last resort in any of this situation. But the truth of the matter is this incessant strike is not helping anybody. It's not helping the economy.
You know, don't you think is for the benefit of the masses?
No. It can be. It is, of course, for the benefit of the masses. But the truth of the matter is this: why don't we begin to look beyond strikes? Why can't we, NLC, propose measures that can improve services? If you do these things, even if your salary is 10,000 naira in a month, the market components are not going to, you know, try to brace up. So long as the economy is smooth, so long as infrastructures, so long as you have social amenities, everything working, schools, you know, you won't be talking about increment in salary. So incessant strike, well, it does not help anybody.
So from talking, you just mentioned the economy. That means it's so obvious that the economy is bad, because we have not grown from one level to another better level, and now it has already devalued our money, our naira. So things are so poor. Now you see somebody earning 18,000 naira, and that cannot even get you a bag of rice. Now they are pleading to the government, please increase it, to aid and it will help.
Even if they increase it to the 45,000.
The issue is this:
these amenities we've been talking about it.
Increment is not the issue. Increment is not the issue. The issue is provision of social amenities.
But we've not provided.
When the system works, your money will have value.
Thank you very much.
Okay, moving ahead, we have The Nation here this morning, and above the masthead it says, minimum wage, labor begins strike today. Same strike is everywhere on our national dailies. You find our story on page 10. And Jimmy, others battle for APC ticket in Benue. You find our story on page 41. Fidelity Bank's profit rises to 13 billion naira. You find a story on page 7. And flood submerges 200 houses in Ilorin. Wow. You find our story on page 41. Libya set for Eagles. That story, you see it on page 47. And below the masthead, you see Omishori, my alliance with APC will give Oyetola victory. Oh wow! Now we have three riders. Below the picture story, which says 20 parties back APC. Police warn against violence, and Adeleke alleges threat to life. We have a picture story here which says Governor Abiola Ajimobi, Mohammed Badaru, Ekiti State Governor-elect Hayade Fayemi, All Progressive Congress APC National Chairman Adams Oshomole, Social Democratic Party SDP candidate Iyola Omishori, Governors Abdullahi Ganduje Kano, and Ibikole Amoshin Ogun, House of Representatives Deputy Speaker Yusuf Lasson, and Information and Culture Minister Lai Mohammed after a meeting between Omishori and an APC team led by Oshomole in Oshobo yesterday. Now, below that picture story, we see where Wike threatens PDP over convention venue. BOT rejects Port Harcourt. Mr. Lawrence. And then below, another picture show here, we see suspect threatening ex-VP Atiku's life arrested in Lagos. You find our story on Mr. Lawrence. Over to you again.
Well, I'm particularly interested in the Jime story in Benue.
Okay.
You see, Benue State has been one state that has been most unfortunate in terms of governance. After Aperaku, we have never had good governance in that state. Well, Adasu did a very good job. Of course, he built the Benue State University where, has graduated.
Most of us
yes,
graduated
of course,
from.
And it's a living legacy. Most of the infrastructures after Aperaku, Adasu was able to. But after that, I can't see anything. When the present governor, who is now in the PDP, came, we thought it was an opportunity to, get someone who is, at the time, an entrepreneur. We knew he had businesses employing close to 400 Benue youth. So we thought him coming on board would, as a matter of fact, transform the economy of the state and make the state an economically viable state. But unfortunately, what are we seeing? People being owed salaries for several months and stuff. We are looking at, if Jime is able to pick it, I'm not trying to speak for him, but of course, it was his name who that is up topmost on the paper. So it will be a very good development for the APC in Benue State.
So how do you think he's going to bring the right ideologies that will move the state forward?
No.
Because I understand it was Jime that in the past he was the one that held the ticket, but he was collected.
Yeah,
it was collected. Yes, it was collected
denied
from him.
Yeah,
but they now handed it over to Otum. But right now, what convinced you? What made you to think that Jime is the right person that will do that job? That was denied.
Antecedents of people go a long way. Don't forget that Jime was in the House of Representatives.
Yes, I do.
Go to his constituency. You will see.
He did well. He did well.
Yeah. So, judging from that alone, you could tell that this is a man, when given the mandate, he will deliver.
But sometimes you have this absolute belief in someone that the person will do very well.
Yes, if they have been tried before, you could trust them.
Okay. Coming from you. All right, now we have the Punch. And the story making headline on the Punch is Labour begins nationwide strike today over wages. You'll find that story on page 7 of the Punch. And below we see the rider as meeting with federal government with FG ends in a deadlock. Another rider is unions say schools, banks, filling stations, others must shut down because of the strike that is going on, obviously. And below the picture story, there's a picture story here. Below the picture story, we see Oshun will run. Omishore carves into pressure. Supports APC. You find that story on page 2 and 7. And still, the writer of that story, Omishore, is on his way, on his own, says SDP. Below that, we find we are confident of winning. We are confident of winning. PDP governors declares holidays. Okay. And below that story again, we see police arrest fraudsters for threatening to kill Atiku. 9 passengers die as driver runs into stationary trucks. Wike dares PDP over convention venue. You'll find that story on page 7 of Daily of the Punch. And beside the nameplate, beside the nameplate of her story, we see lawyers sue FG, demands reports on rescue effort. That is Chibok girls. So which story is striking for you now, Mr. Lawrence?
Well, the most striking story there is the arrest of the fraudster who threatened Atiku's life. Now, well, in the run-up to an election, like we have now. It is very common for politicians to wake up and say my life has been threatened, especially if they see that it is going to be difficult for them to clench a ticket. So they begin to bring all sorts of abracadabra just to to get people's sympathy on their side. But I'm happy that at least the Nigerian police has arrested, been able to track and apprehend the young man who threatened Atiku's life. But Atiku, first of all, let's not take it away from him. He's a senior citizen, former vice president of the Federal Republic.
Stakeholder.
He's a stakeholder. So in spite of whether he is in the ruling party or not, he should be protected. And this is what, you have to commend. We have to commend the police and the federal government for this. If they had not done this now, the general belief would be that the government is hunting him. But this is quite impressive. And then on the issue of Wike in Rivers State, now PDP has once again found themselves in a very, very big dilemma. If they are not able to resolve this in the shortest possible time, honestly, I can only imagine what it will be like for them. Because as a matter of fact, they have alleged that their decision to take the primaries, the convention to Rivers State was because they were not sure if a venue will be available to them in Abuja. They recall the issue of Kwankwaso where declaration. But what the media is not telling people and PDP is hiding it from telling people, the Eagle Square is in the 3-arm zone, where in the same premises with the State House, the National Assembly and the Supreme Court. And as a matter of fact, the British Prime Minister Theresa May was on her way to Abuja that day. So how do you expect that such large gathering, and don't forget that Kwankwaso has one of the most violent, not even the crowd, his people are violent. And if you have attended, I covered the Kwankwaso rally and I saw people using drugs. So you can imagine the kind of miscreants that he carries. So it is a security threat. If it is the president of the United States that is visiting Nigeria for 1 month into his visit, that place will be cleared.
But BOT have decided that the right venue for them is Abuja. So what do you think about that? Do they do the right thing?
It is a political party. If they decide they want to have their primaries in Abuja, fine. If they decide they want to have their primaries in Port Harcourt, even if they want to have it in my village, it's up to them.
The reason PDP are trying to shy away from Wike's insistence is the fact that they said there's so much going on around them and their safety is not guaranteed. And if they hold their convention here in Abuja, they are sure of their security. So how true is that?
Nobody will stop the PDP from having their convention anywhere. It is a party legally registered under the Constitution. So they have the right, and as Nigerians, it is their fundamental right, freedom of association. I don't think that has been suspended in the Constitution yet. So they can have their convention anywhere they choose. It is, if they have decided to move it away from Abuja, fine. But nobody will stop them from using any facility, provided the right permissions have been taken and all whatnot. Nobody will deny them any facility.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'm moving forward to Sporting Life now. We have Moses plays for 90 minutes in Blues victory. Nigerian starts first game under Sari. Now we have another story here which says Nigeria versus Libya, NFF. Libya FA Scribe agree on October 13th date. Now kickoff time for that match will be 4 p.m. venue next to Champions Stadium OU. Second leg holds on October 16 in Tunis. Then we have Arsenal 3, Brentford 1. Iwobi shines. Isaac Sussex scores. Messi falls with Barca. Real Madrid has advised to sign 200 million euro rated Kane, and then Man United demand 200 million euro for Pogba. Messi begs for Dembele Salah swap, and Zidane wants Hazard at Man United. Libyans open camp for Eagles in Tunis on October 8 and LIVESTREAM Nigeria via charter flight. Mr. Lawrence, this is sports. We're done with the politics, with the economy, with everything. Now over to you, Sport. What can you tell me?
Well, I'm only just going to be optimistic about the October 13th date.
Okay.
Between the Eagles, I mean the Nigeria and Libya. All I can say is that I'm very optimistic that Nigeria will
do well. All right. Thank you very much.
So you're not saying anything about our boys doing well. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much, Mr.
Thank
Lawrence.
you for your time with us. Thank you so much.
And that was it on our newspaper segment this morning with Mr. Lawrence Awudu in the studio. And then we'll go on a short break, and when we return,
For almost a decade, the Nigerian army have given their all to ensure that our dear country is not overrun by Boko Haram insurgents. Some have in the process paid the ultimate price, while many will forever live with indelible scars occasioned by their determination to protect the country, no matter the hurdle. Despite these, they have remained resolute and undaunted, and today, all territories the insurgents once took control of have been recaptured and normalcy restored. And now, for the first time in a long time, the end of Boko Haram is foreseeable. Therefore, the wisest thing for the remaining insurgents to do is to surrender today or face total destruction from the army. Remember, the Nigerian army will stop at nothing to ensure that total peace is restored in all parts of the country. So, be wise and embrace peace today or get ready to be ruthlessly dealt with. This message is brought to you by the Coalition on Conflict Resolution and Human Rights in Nigeria. Welcome to Living Treasures Academy. Enjoy a conducive and serene learning environment. Qualified and experienced teachers. Equipped computer laboratory and library. Secured atmosphere. Extracurricular activities. An all-embracing curriculum for total development of the child. Comprehensive education for leadership. Join us today from crèche to secondary levels. Living Treasures Academy, committed to excellence.
Hi, I'm Prince David Adetunji Ade, known as I am a lawyer and energy specialist. And I am also running for the House of Representatives for Amak Buhari Federal Constituency under Young Progressive Party YPP. One of the fundamental reasons I choose to serve as the people representative is to seek ways to create job and employment for FCT indigents and residents. Nigeria has a very young population, educated, skillful, and hardworking. However, what is lacking is jobs and opportunities for these young people. No wonder they flock in their droves to developed countries in search of greener pasture. And the ones that are left behind are searching endlessly on the street for jobs that are not there. So here is what I'm going to do if voted in. I will put forward a job creation bill that will seek to create industrial zone within FCT. This industrial zone will have inbuilt infrastructures with already built-in infrastructures for would-be investors or job creators of minimum of 100 jobs. This bill will give tax incentives and other tax holidays to incentivize these job creators. We would set up cooperative community banks within the community that would give small startup loans for small businesses as non-securitized or collateralized at very small interest rate. So you see, election matters and your vote count. Please vote YPP, vote Prince David Adetunji Adeyeye for House of Reps come Saturday 16 February 2019. Thank you.
Young Progressive Party. Service to the people.
Humiliating.
Welcome back. That was Mr. Lawrence, a public relations commentator, analyzing the dailies with us. And if you're just joining us, this is Television Nigeria and your #1 program, Daybreak. And we are going to the segment where I say I have a mentor, and her name is Blessing. You know, when it comes to sport, she's my mentor when it comes to sport. Every time I have something to do concerning sport, she's always there to put me through. So what
against me?
I don't
because one of these is I'm going to take you on the pitch, so we'll try something. Anyways, welcome back. This is still Daybreak show on Television Nigeria. Sammy is standing by. He's going to give us the latest updates happening in the world of sport. Sammy, over to you. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Blessing. Good morning. In the world of sports, humiliated, Real and Barcelona both suffered embarrassing defeats last night, Wednesday. Things couldn't have gone much worse for the Spanish giants, Real Madrid and Barcelona, as they both suffered embarrassing defeats on a crazy Wednesday nights. European champions were absolutely demolished and lost a key player to injury. Real Madrid conceded 3 first-half goals in a 3-0 loss at Sevilla, and they squandered a chance to take the Spanish league lead after Barcelona lost 2-1 at Leganés. Portuguese forward André Silva scored in the 17th and 21st minute, and Ben Yedder added another in the 39th minute. That sealed the convincing win at Ramos Sanchez Stadium. Marcelo also appeared to be injured in a muscle pull midway through the second half. Now, Blessing, on that news yesterday, it was humiliating for both champions, the Barcelona and the Real Madrid. Barcelona lost 2-1 to the last placed Leganés, which happened to be the only win for them this season. That is the last place. And Real Madrid also lost 3-0. And they all considered these goals within the first half of the game. And though Real Madrid, that result was not
The result for Real Madrid is not a good one for me, you know, judging by how they are on the table right now. And to think that they're champions, you know, and then it happened like it was a planned thing, you know, having Real Madrid and Barcelona both losing, and to these very small teams that they see them as very little teams. So I don't know, what is the problem? Could it be the coach? Was there a change? Was this substitution? What could have been the problem, or the formation? I don't know.
Well, for Real Madrid, you remember that for 9 games now they've not won at Sevilla.
Exactly.
It's not a change of coach or Ronaldo factor. It's just has always been like that.
I think it's a Ronaldo factor.
You think it's a Ronaldo factor? Think it's a Ronaldo factor. Even last season they lost at Sevilla, so
but not this much, if you can say.
And all I saw yesterday was Sevilla just attacking, and they were impressive, and I was not surprised. 3-0. But it doesn't justify Real Madrid's performance either way. But it's a game of football. Now Barcelona also lost to last place Leganes yesterday.
Exactly.
2-1. And what do you think about that match?
For me, I think Barcelona needs to come up more. Now, I felt the positioning where everyone played was wrong. That was the fault. So if everybody had played at the right back and at the position where you normally play, I'm sure they wouldn't have had that loss. But it's a sad one. They've lost.
You know, everyone can't play. You can't use the same squad all through the season. At a point, you have to rotate.
But not for a game like yesterday.
A game against a last place.
No, it wasn't for a game like yesterday, because it is humiliating. The loss is humiliating.
Well, it's okay. Thank you very much for blessing. Now we go to the second story. Nigerians shine in Carabao Cup. At least that is a deviation, an happy one, away from the embarrassing defeat. It was an interesting outing for the Super Eagles players in the English Carabao Cup. Isaac Success scored for Watford. Moses Iwobi starred as Chelsea Arsenal wins. The Nigerian internationals making their second start in the Carabao Cup. Isaac's promise showed great strength and desire all through the match and was rewarded with his second Carabao Cup goal of the season for Watford. Complete Sports Nigeria reports that at Anfield, Victor Moses made his third appearance for Chelsea, who came from a goal down to beat Liverpool in a 2-1 game at Wednesday Anfield game. Former Nigeria international Victor Moses has missed the Blue 5 games, prompting an impending exit from the club in January. And then he has also been booked for a transfer away from Chelsea on January. Blessing. That's another one coming from them. Wonderful outing by the Super Eagles players all through Wednesdays and Tuesday. Alex Iwobi was impressive as usual. Victor Moses getting his first start of the season. Isaac Success.
You don't forget to hear Nacho, please.
Oh yeah, Nacho scored the winning penalty for Leicester City. It was all just good stories and
Arsenal and Brentford now had Arsenal 3, and I'm like, is this Arsenal? But I was proud. I was happy because our boys did that. They made that work. You know, for when Isaac scored, I'm like, is this Isaac?
No, the desire
has he been all this while, you know? And then he's shown it. And then to think that he on the new Premiership, the season just about to, you know, round up and all of that, and was seeing this able talents, the energy and all. We hope to see a better Super Eagles, you know, with this
we
kind of...
We definitely would hope to see a better Super Eagles, especially going by the qualifiers. That's the African.
And Victor Moses, it shows that his strength is still the 90 minutes, and you know he's
never gives up.
He's excellent. So kudos to them.
Okay, thank you very much. That is all we take from the world of sports this morning. My name, I remain Ifesonwo Samuel. Thank you very much. Blessing. Over to you.
Oh, thank you very much. You see why I said she's my mentor? Because when she's talking about sport, I don't say nothing. Because there's no way your boss will be talking, then you come out and talk.
Sandra,
of course, I don't know anything about
morning.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that. We'll be right back after this break. News.
Hi, I'm Prince David Adetunji Ade, known as I am a lawyer and energy specialist, and I am also running for the House of Representatives for Amak-Buhari Federal Constituency under Young Progressive Party YPP. One of the fundamental reasons I choose to serve as the people representative is to seek ways to create job and employment for FCT indigents and residents. Nigeria has a very young population, educated, skillful, and hardworking. However, what is lacking is jobs and opportunities for these young people. No wonder they flock in their droves to developed countries in search of greener pasture. And the ones that are left behind are searching endlessly on the street for jobs that are not there. So here is what I'm going to do if voted in. I will put forward a job creation bill that will seek to create industrial zone within FCT. This industrial zone will have inbuilt infrastructures with already built-in infrastructures for would-be investors or job creators of minimum of 100 jobs. This bill will give tax incentives and other tax holidays to incentivize these job creators. We would set up cooperative community banks within the community that would give small startup loans for small businesses as non-securitized or collateralized at very small interest rate. So you see, election matters and your vote count. Please vote YPP, vote Prince David Adetunji Ade for House of Reps come Saturday 16 February 2019. Thank you.
Young Progressive Party. Service to the people. Welcome to Living Treasures Academy. Enjoy a conducive and serene learning environment. Qualified and experienced teachers. Equipped computer laboratory and library. Secured atmosphere. Extracurricular activities. An all-embracing curriculum for total development of the child. Comprehensive education for leadership. Join us today from crèche to secondary levels. Living Treasures Academy, committed to excellence. These absolute end of today, insurgents one took control of have been recaptured and normalcy restored. And now, for the first time in a long time, the end of Boko Haram is foreseeable. Therefore, the wisest thing for the remaining insurgents to do is to surrender today or face total destruction from the army. Remember, the Nigerian army will stop at nothing to ensure that total peace is restored in all parts of the country. So, be wise and embrace peace today or get ready to be ruthlessly dealt with. This message is brought to you by the Coalition on Conflict Resolution and Human Rights in Nigeria.
Hi, I'm Prince David Adetunji Ade, known as I am a lawyer and energy specialist, and I am also running for the House of Representatives for Amak-Buhari Federal Constituency under Young Progressive Party YPP. One of the fundamental reasons I choose to serve as the people representative is to seek ways to create job and employment for FCT indigents and residents. Nigeria has a very young population, educated, skillful and hardworking. However, what is lacking is jobs and opportunities for these young people. No wonder they flock in their droves to developed countries in search of greener pasture. And the ones that are left behind are searching endlessly on the street for jobs that are not there. So here is what I'm going to do if voted in. I will put forward a job creation bill that will seek to create industrial zone within FCT. This industrial zone will have inbuilt infrastructures with already built-in infrastructures for would-be investors or job creators of minimum of 100 jobs. This bill will give tax incentives and other tax holidays to incentivize these job creators. We would set up cooperative community banks within the community that would give small startup loans for small businesses as non-securitized or collateralized at very small interest rate. So you see, election matters and your vote count. Please vote YPP, vote Prince David Adetunji Adeyeye for House of Reps come Saturday 16 February 2019. Thank you.
Young Progressive Party. Service to the people. Welcome to Living Treasures Academy. Enjoy a conducive and serene learning environment. Qualified and experienced teachers. Equipped computer laboratory and library. Secured atmosphere. Extracurricular activities. An all-embracing curriculum for total development of the child. Comprehensive education for leadership. Join us today from crèche to secondary levels. Living Treasures Academy, committed to excellence.
You're welcome back. This is Daybreak Nigeria on Television Nigeria, and thank you so much for having this time with us. And right now we're going to the news segment where we have Enten standing by to tell us what is happening in the news. Enten, what is happening in the news? What is the top story now?
Yeah, well, a whole lot is happening in the world of news, but let's tell you that the Academic Staff Union of Universities may join the Nigerian Labour Congress in the ongoing industrial action. The Owerri Zonal Coordinator of ASU, Professor Uzo Onyebinama, disclosed this at a press conference in Anambra State while debunking that the strikes were not sponsored by the opposition parties. Onyebinama also stated the reason of ASU strike, saying it was as a result of the federal government's inability to fulfill the 2009 agreement with the union on the welfare of its members. The union urged the federal government to, as a matter of urgency, provide a platform for the leadership of ASU to engage the state governors on issues of proliferation of universities, underfunding of state universities, undue interference in the administration of state universities, and the non-implementation of the various components of the 2009 agreement in many state universities. The union went further to say it will be left with no other choice than to embark on an industrial action if the contentious issues were not resolved. The governorship candidate of the People's Democratic Party in Osun State, Senator Ademola Adeleke, has written to the international community alleging threat to his life and his supporters ahead of the rerun governorship poll holding today, Thursday. This was contained in a statement made available by the spokesperson of Adeleke campaign organization, Mr. Rashid Olawale, on Wednesday. In the letter, according to Olawale, was sent to the United Nations, European Union, the United States of America, and several diplomatic missions in Nigeria. The PDP candidate listed many alleged infractions in the last Saturday election: the refusal of INEC to declare him the winner in line with the Constitution, the alleged killing and maiming of his supporters, arrest of key leaders on trumped-up charges, and the manipulations of the electoral process. The Minister of State for Mines and Steel Development, Alhaji Abubakar Buhari, said that the activities of quarry in the Federal Capital Territory will remain suspended until investigation on the Mbappe F tremor was concluded. He made this statement in Abuja on Wednesday when the Quarry Owners Association of Nigeria paid him a courtesy visit. Buhari said that preliminary investigation shows that the tremor has nothing to do with quarry activities, but the suspension still stands, and he assured them, saying that it's not going to be long and that very soon it will be lifted. Buhari advised the association to always consider immediate communities and environment when carrying out their activities, and he promised them that the issue of double taxation will be addressed. And he went further to say that the ministry was trying to encourage equipment leasing within and outside the country. On the foreign scene, Interior Minister Herbert Kill on Wednesday survived a vote of no confidence in Australia's parliament, called over a ministry proposal to curb critical media and to highlight foreign crime suspects. Opposition parties lost the votes as a majority of legislators from the governing Centre-Right People's Party, OEVP, and Kill's Freedom Party backed the minister. The scandal erupted on Tuesday when local media published a memo by Interior Ministry spokesman in which he asked police press officers to limit cooperation with several newspapers, and in addition, the spokesman proposed focusing on the nationalities of suspects in future and highlighting crimes committed by asylum seekers. And that's about the news on Daybreak Nigeria. It's back to Blessing and Sandra for a wrap on the program. Thanks for watching.
Thank you very much for that news, and we'll be right back after this short break.
Okay, guys.
If you're just joining us, this is still Daybreak Nigeria, but this is where we'll come to the end. But before we go, you can visit us on our website www.tvn.news. Facebook is Television Nigerian, Twitter is Television Nigerian, Instagram is Television Nigeria, or you email us on info@tvn.news. This is where we come to the end of today's Daybreak Nigeria breakfast show on Television Nigeria. It's always nice doing this with you every morning. We'll come your way again tomorrow. And that's bye for now. I'm Blessing Akbera Ikba.
And I am Sandra Guana. Thank you so very much. See you tomorrow.
Yeah, bye for now.
Well, if you're coming out, bye for now too.